cloud. Okay, everyone. Welcome. I'm Ellie Wyndham. I'm the founder and program manager for Walking Other People's Shoes. I'm based in Brooklyn, New York. Walking Other People's Shoes strives to empower women of color by providing transformative experiences through storytelling and community. And we're really happy that you could join us for tonight's Multicultural Children's Book Club. And we host this free monthly virtual club for children, parents, and educators, and who wants to have a deeper dive into themed activities and concepts around race, identity, and culture. We have themed activities, and we also give the copy of the book. I want to introduce you to our two facilitators. We've got one here tonight. The other one is currently in college and doing a school class right now, but she has prepared us a pre-recorded video to match with the book for tonight. But our facilitator, Mia Wenchen, is the founder of the Multicultural Children's Book Day. She blogs on parenting, children's books, and education at pragmaticmom.com. And so her nonprofit helps to celebrate diversity in children's books, and she's based in the Boston area. And our activities facilitator is Ruth Perez, and Ruth is a sophomore at Lehman College, and she's pursuing a bachelor's in speech pathology and audiology. And then she's followed by a master's in a speech pathology. And these degrees will help her to work in schools and provide extra support in speech to students with special needs. And she's based in the Bronx. And I'm pleased, hopefully you guys can follow us on Instagram on Walking Other People's Shoes. We were really excited to have you here and excited for a special evening with our author. So I'm going to pass it on to Mia to introduce the book.
Straighten up and get ready. So usually when I book the author and the picture book, I do it like 6 months out, like just, kind of make sure there's enough time. And I remember last year I had Boost Stew because I kind of got that like in that time frame. And then Gustavo, the Shy Ghost, kind of passed my way on my desk, and I was like, oh, that's perfect too. But I already booked, Boost Stew, which also was a wonderful book and wonderful author. And so then when I booked again for this year, and I got this in the mail, Leila and the Witchy Cake Off, I was like, oh yes, I remember Gustavo, the Shy Ghost, and same author, illustrator. I was like, on it, I was on it. And so then I was like, I have my whole lineup. And then when it gets closer, I was like, oh, make sure I have my giveaway and my copy of my book. And I had it written in my spreadsheet, it's Leila the Perfect Witch. And I was like, wait a second, I don't have the right book. And I was like, oh, this must be the new sequel. So I was like, okay, quickly go buy it from bookshop.com or bookshop.org. And then I was like, okay, great, I have it in time. And then I started, preparing to read it. And I was like, wait a second, it's the same story, because this is an advanced release copy, uncorrected proof. Sometimes it's a folded and gathered, but this one actually is bound. So it's just like an advanced release copy. And they changed the title from when they made, usually I think when they make the proof, it's like ready to go. It's like basically printed, and now they're just going to print it and bind it. So this is the first time I've ever really seen from a advanced release copy to, like still a pretty big change, not completely, because you can see everything else is similar, but a pretty big change because the title is different enough that I totally got confused. But so whoever wins will get both copies, because I just think it's pretty cool. It's one of those things where you're like a trivial pursuit question. Which book had a different title, for an unreleased copy about a witch, because I don't think it happens very often. So before I start on that, I just want to go over my giveaway. and it is international candy around the world. And someone asked my sister-in-law said, "Oh, did you order it all on Amazon?" I was like, I did not. I went to all these different markets because they're in my community. So I got these from the Japanese market. This is my kid's favorite. And I got also Japanese, these Bowtown rice candy. And it has a rice paper cover, and it's edible. The rice paper's edible. So that's kind of fun. I remember that from my childhood. Then I went to my Greek market where I get yogurt, and I got these pistachio chocolate, and which I haven't tried, but I also got these. These are like kind of a really good Kit Kat Greek version. I got this in milk chocolate. It also comes in dark chocolate. Then at my Korean market, because my husband's Korean and I'm half Japanese, half Chinese, this is the only flavor that my kids like if I chew. And then my son Ashley said, "Can I have one?" I said, "No, it's my giveaway." But we only like mango at our house. I don't know why. Then I went to the bodega because I wanted to. I think for last month's book, I wanted to get the snack that Radica one, but I saw candy there as well. So I got this tamarind candy, which I never saw before, and then also like another chocolate. So you can do international chocolate taste testing. And then also I have this one, which is interesting. It's popcorn in chocolate. I believe that's from my Greek market. So anyway, whoever wins will win both books and all that candy. And now I have 5 minutes to do the book. So anyway, Leila the Perfect Witch by Flavia C. Drago, from the world of Gustavo. So it's like not a sequel, it's like a companion book. So I imagine like they're all friends. But there's real consistency in the look and the feel, the color and the drawing, which is great because of course it's the same author illustrator. And here's the beautiful end paper. And so I usually only read part of the book because of copyright. So I'll just read part of it and then we'll just talk about it a little bit. So this is the beginning. Can you guys see okay? Because I can't see myself in the, okay. Far and wide, Leila Wayward was known for being an extraordinary little witch. She lived with her Baba and her 3 big sisters, Adelpha, Fair, and Lucy, in their cozy gingerbread house. She was always the fastest flyer, the most cunning conjurer, the sneakiest shapeshifter, and the craftiest carver in her coven. A coven is like a group of witches. For each of her talents, Leila had won a trophy, but she was saving a special spot for the most important one of all. Her dream was to win the magnificent witchy cake-off. And she's telling her friend here, the little like frog guy, "Don't worry, Basil, this is going to be easy peasy." Because of course, she's really good at everything. But much to Leila's surprise, baking wasn't such a piece of cake. So she's not used to failure, but this baking thing, which is so important to her, as you can see with some smoke, is not going so well. Of course, Leila wasn't going to give up. I want to be as good as everyone in my family, she thought. But if she wanted to win, there would be no time to get out and fly, no time for carving pumpkins, and definitely no time for fun. Leila was, after all, a particularly determined witch. Leila, want to chase fairies and forage for mushrooms? And she's thinking, no, I have to win this baking competition. So she's trying and trying, and it's really not going well. And she's telling her friend, her little froggy friend, "Oh, Basil, my family will be so disappointed in me. I'll never be a true wayward," because the family reputation is they're all really good bakers. But as it turned out, good sisters will always be there, especially when you need them the most. So one sister says, "Take a deep breath." The other one says, "Let's count to 10. And the other one says, "And try again." Fair showed Leila her best tricks for sifting and mixing. Lucy helped her whip the cream. And Adelpha taught her everything about decoration techniques. But most importantly, we all had so much fun. Okay, so then Leila goes to the competition and she's like kind of nervous. So she says, okay, remember what my sister said. Little by little, take a deep breath. Let's count to 10 and try again. And she got there. She made her thing, her beautiful baked cake. And Leila made it to the final. And now the winner is, you'll have to read get the story. You'll have to read the book. You can get it from the library or you can get it from, a bookshop. But she found out that eating cake together with her family was, basically what it was all about. So that is Leila the Perfect Witch. And I picked this book because, the month of October, we're celebrating a lot of holidays, right? We have Filipino American History Month, which is like not so well known. We have Hispanic Heritage Month, which is kind of a weird one because it's half of September and half of October. So, but so you kind of can span both. We have Halloween. We have, let me say it right, Dia de los Muertos, so Day of the Dead. And I think it's, I thought this was such the perfect book because we get to celebrate 3 things with one book. We get Latino culture, we get Halloween. I mean, we don't really get Day of the Dead, but we kind of do because we get Latino culture. So I'm going to count it as half. So it really works. And then also it's just the story about sibling solidarity, which is what my kids say, sibling solidarity, like siblings sticking together and supporting each other. It's also about, perseverance, and it's because it's so important. This whole idea of grit and not giving up and doing challenges, and really about not giving up. It's like there's another word for, I forget what it is, but so it's like one of those things that covers so many things. It's also just so beautifully illustrated and such a fun story that it's a kind of book that's perfect to bust out in September or October, but it's a timeless story. You can read it year round. So that's why I love this book so much. And also how maybe in the Q&A, Flavia will give us some insight on the title change and if there was any other big changes from the arc to the final product. And that's the kind of stuff that only when you're here with the author do you know these kind of secret things. And also if she has any what they call Easter eggs. Does she have, because I read it pretty fast and I knew you couldn't see the illustrations, but I bet Flavia might have had some secret illustration. If you looked really carefully, you might see some things that, only if you're in the know will you know. So with that, I will now share my screen to play Ruth's activity. Thank you, Ruth. I think this is as big as I can make it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ruth Perez, and as Ali may have introduced me, I am the activity facilitator for Multicultural Children's Book Club, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all on the first Thursday of October. Unfortunately, I am not able to be there live with you all to see your beautiful faces, but I am here recorded to guide you in our activity for today. So far, let me just say that I love this book, and as I always say, children's books are not just for children. I think that they're for adults as well. I loved it, even though I am well over the age of young child. Just because that there are lessons that we can learn from the books and implement into our own lives. So what I want and need us to do first, before we continue with our activity, is to get our materials. We are going to need handy dandy, a piece of paper, copy paper, and you know what? Some loose leaf paper, whatever you can get your hands on to draw. We're gonna need some crayons, good old crayons, and a pen or pencil. So I am just going to give you guys 1 or 2 minutes to get your materials. And once you obtain them, please give us a thumbs up or I'm ready in the chat just so we know we are ready to continue. Alrighty, great. Now that we all have our materials, we're gonna go ahead and continue. So just to follow up on what I was saying about lessons that can be learned from children's book, I think that there was a great lesson learned in the book, Leila the Witch. Leila is this young witch. She's trying to, I would say, achieve some perfection, this ability to do everything and, make her family proud and try to fit in this form of acceptance. And she's just so disappointed when she fails to do so. And I think it really relates to sometimes that perfection that children try to reach in society or trying to fit in maybe the trends or the ways of dressing or ways of acting. And it still goes on as you become an adult. But what I love is that for the solution to the story is that Leila, she had a network, she had a community of people that loved her and supported her and were there to help her move on forward and let her know, hey, you failed, but we're gonna get better. And then we saw how towards end, she didn't win in the competition, but she was so happy of what she learned and how she improved as a witch. Because spoiler alert, just like Leila the Witch, humans are not perfect either. So I just really wanted to give you guys that to think about. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the paper that we have, like I said, copy paper, loose leaf, whatever we did, we're able to obtain, and we're going to fold it into 3 pieces to get our trifold little mini expo board. And we should have 3 parts, 3 dividends on here. Our first part is going to be our problem section. Our second part, our solution. And our third part, a result. Just to follow really the plot of the story. So I really just want this to be a time of reflection. Just think back to a time where you had a problem, where maybe you felt overwhelmed or you were trying to meet expectations, maybe to fit in, please your family, you didn't want to let somebody down. Think to a situation like that. I'll give you guys an example. For me, I was an intern with organization Teaching Matters, and I was working as a tutor at an elementary school. I had the opportunity to work with first grade and second grade, and it went pretty smoothly. I was able to facilitate my literacy centers. I felt everything was going well. I was doing quote unquote perfect. My coach was happy with me, the organization was happy with me. And I felt like, okay, I can't let them down, right? And then I got to kindergarten. Let's just say it was a different story. It was something really new to me. On my first day, I was in the classroom, I sat down to work with my students. And y'all, I cannot keep their attention. And I was like, this is, like Leila said, disaster. It was a disaster. I was like, what am I going to do? Thankfully, I had a wonderful coach. Her name is Portia, and she was there to guide me. She was there to give me advice. So before I do continue and go on, I just want you to go ahead and draw in your problem section, that scenario. What thoughts were going through your head? What are the images? What was the situation? Go ahead and draw that out. Just gonna give you guys 2 or 3 minutes to do so, and then we'll continue. Alrighty.
Oh, wait, I gotta pause. I gotta pause. Okay, right. Sorry. Let me pause to give everyone a couple of minutes.
I believe that you're supposed to be drawing a problem on your first part of the section. believe that's what she said.
Yes, like I think the box furthest to your left.
Yes. Just to restate the directions again, because sometimes I need to hear it again. So it's good to always repeat it just one more time.
Yes, awesome. And you can use words, you can use pictures, you can use crayons, pencil, pen, whatever you like to use. I see Ellie has. So while we guys are drawing, I will share some of the comments in the chat. Ellie says, what a great giveaway. Thanks, Ellie. Rosika said, wow, so much fun for the kids. That's so nice. Thank you, Rosika. Ellie says, yum. I love haichu. I love different types of chocolate. I'm a chocoholic too. Rosika says, wow, I love Mia's dedication to go search the best giveaway, smiley face. I'm at those stores anyway, so it was just like me buying candy. I like buying candy too. And also such a cute name for the frog friend. Yes, the frog friend's name, let me look it up again, is
Basil.
Basil. That's right, basil. Like the herb. Yeah. And that's cute because it's about cooking. So you have like a herb, like something that you can eat.
Right.
Ellie said, I wish I could bake. Ellie, you can be inspired, right? You just need to get some support, you know? And I really liked how the sisters use mindfulness techniques, you know, taking a deep breath, slowing down, you know, counting to 10. Those are all great mindfulness techniques to help when you're stressed. And they work in any situation, not just a baking competition. Danielle says, love the message. Baking is one of my favorite things to do. Danielle and Ellie should have a little Zoom meetup, you know, like a little baking play date, maybe, you know. Rosika said, I am trying my hand at baking. It's been okay so far. Not good, LOL. Maybe we need some kind of baking activity, Ellie, in the future, whether it's walking in other people's shoes or a book club event. Danielle says perseverance. Tomorrow I am baking, oh my goodness, apple cider donut cake. That sounds amazing and also very difficult. And also I would like a piece somehow. I know Danielle and we don't live in the same city. Rosika said, Ellie's cute sketchbook, smiley face. Yes, Ellie, hold that up. I think that Ellie uses that in general, right? Kind of for her, like to make notes and to inspire herself and to check in with herself. So I think I've seen that a few times.
Yeah.
Ellie says, yes, I'm ready. I have my crayons ready too. And then we also have flaviazdrago.com, which is the website for our amazing illustrator author. Just for the future, if you guys want to learn more about her, because I'm sure you can ask, you know, all the questions that you want, but if you have more in the future, you can find information on her website, or sometimes they even have a form where you can write the author. And I bet if you wrote the author and said, I met you at the Leila the Perfect Witch book club, and I have an additional follow-up question, you might get a reply. I bet you will. So do you think, is that enough time, Ellie? Check it. Okay, so I will continue.
And has finished drawing their problem part. You can just go ahead and share. So for my problem, as I told you all, was my initial inability to control my students when I first started. This is me sitting down, not the best drawer here, y'all, and some tears going down my eyes. Some of my kids, which were just standing and prancing around. Some were sitting and just not listening at all. And at that moment, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do this, right? The initial thought is, okay, I'm failing, give up. But no, the wonderful thing is that there is, for the most part, always a solution to a problem. So I just want to give you guys a quick 2 minutes to go ahead and share what was your problem, what you drew out, what was the situation. So you guys can go ahead and do that really quickly. Alrighty, so I know that you're trying, so we're all
Oh,
great,
oh, oh,
even though I
oh,
was
oh,
not
oh,
able to.
okay, wait. Oh, okay. If anyone wants to share, hold it up, please. Oh, wow. Look how great. Okay, Flavia's looks amazing. Not surprising, but look at the little witch. Oh, hers is so cute. I love it. Wow.
I love it too. I
What
love
is that? What is that? It's what was her problem?
So my problem is I was trying to color Minnie Mouse in her costume when he's a little witch cat, but then I made a little line right here, and then I got really angry.
Oh, you draw really well.
That's so cute.
So what is
Really
the
well.
picture?
You're
What is the
such a
picture
good
that you drew?
artist.
Well, I was coloring, but then I made a mistake.
So it's her coloring and she makes a mistake and it makes her angry that she made a mistake.
That's upsetting. I can
When
relate.
I made a mistake, when I make mistakes with drawing, I get angry.
I bet Flavia might have advice for you after we finish this activity, but I can relate. But I can see why, because you maybe are a lot like Leila, where you have very high expectations and mistakes make you angry because it's not the result that you want. So I feel like this book is so perfect for you. You definitely need a copy.
Yeah,
Definitely
what do you
need a
think?
copy. All right, we'll continue because I know we're a little bit behind.
I will be going back to see them. And I'm really happy and excited to do so. So, as I was saying, we have our second part, which is our solution. As I was saying, I had my coach, Portia. Like I said, she's amazing. And what we did is we sat down to strategize, and we said, okay, what can we do? She has a lot of expertise. She's been in the social special education profession for many years. So she was able to give me some tips and tricks, some things to implement while teaching my students. So that was my solution. So I want you guys to go ahead and for our second part, so go ahead and draw your solution. So I'm just gonna give you a quick 2 minutes to go ahead and do that. Alrighty.
Oh, okay. We'll pause for. So then the solution is in the middle box of the 3 panels. And Ellie, were you going to share the first one? Because I don't think we were able to see yours.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be a mountain, but it's not really a mountain. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's a mountain. And this is me. The solution is me running or hiking, and because I'm an ultra runner, so I was trying to show that the word that I have is perseverance, and the mountain that I have to climb, and that's the problem. And then the solution is me training to go over that mountain. So
That's awesome. So Ellie just got back from Berlin, where she ran a marathon, and an ultra runner, for people who don't know, those of us who are non-runners, is a marathon that is longer than a marathon, because of course a marathon is not long enough for an ultra runner. They need to run many more miles besides that. And Ellie runs as part of Team Adidas as a pacer. So she's running marathons. It was all over the US because she came to the Boston Marathon. I saw her here, New York Marathon, but now she's running internationally, marathons, half marathons, ultra marathons. So a marathon, definitely you need perseverance, I feel like. Okay, was that enough time? Because I know we're still going to do the third panel.
Share our solution. What I drew over here is myself with Portia. We were working virtually online as we are now. And she was giving me some advice. She was motivating me. You can do this. You are able to. You have the ability. And this is me down here taking notes. I was writing down what she was telling me because I wanted to do better. I had a growth mindset of I want to improve. I was thanking her and I was saying, these are some great ideas, some great tips and tricks. So when you are able to implement these solutions, there's always a result that we get. And my result, like I said, is my students, they were on task. We were able to get through our literacy centers. And just to think what would have happened if I had given up. Was I the best tutor? No, I was not. I was not the best tutor. It was my first year working with students, but I was trying and I was doing my best. And I had, like I said, a good support system. And that's what truly mattered. So what I want you guys to do is for our last part, to just go ahead and draw your result. I'm just going to give you guys 2 quick minutes to do that.
So I was so glad that Ruth said growth mindset, because that was the concept I couldn't remember that is so prevalent in this book. And growth mindset has been a really big idea in education, I feel like, for the last 10 years. And it's, I mean, I kind of laugh. It's kind of like tiger parenting, like if you're Asian, like you don't need that term, because like Asian parenting is kind of like you just do it. And like if you're not good, you just get better. Like, you know what I mean? Because you have to hit that goal, which isn't always the best thing, but but in this sort of broader sense, growth mindset is really about not giving up, persevering, and the whole getting up and trying. Like, you know, knock me down 7 times, I get up 8. This whole thing about keep trying is like, you know, like it's really, I guess it's like a key to success, and it can be applied to anything, whether it's baking or sports. Because, you know, a lot of kids will learn growth mindset, you know, even they don't know the exact term, but like that, you know, you learn that through sports, you know, if you stick with a sport, or you learn that with playing an instrument, you know, because that's like a really long-term goal. Or, you know, so, but not all kids get that kind of exposure to learn an instrument or to play a sport for many, many years. And so that's been a really big idea, just to introduce to every child. Growth mindset just means like, hey, don't give up. Just, you know, pick yourself up and try, find ways to stay motivated, find ways to get help, and that you can do it. Like you can do it. And that's just such a great message. And so that also is interwoven. So it just has Leila the Perfect Witch is so perfect because it just has so many different themes running through it and important messages. And so, yeah, I'm glad she used that term growth mindset, because I would use the word perseverance, and that's describes it too. But growth mindset is sort of like the educator term that is super in vogue right now, growth mindset.
Alrighty, y'all, now it is time to share what our result pictures are looking like. My result is this one over here. This is me. And here I am asking my students, how do we spell play? We were doing literacy centers, and we were working on our spelling, and I would have my students like, ooh, I know, after implementing some of Portia's advice, such as getting some of my students the most energy to collaborate, help me hand out materials, or giving them a choice in what they were doing. So my students loved our sensors. They were really excited. They were paying attention. They were on task, and thankfully, they improved on their assessment scores, which is the recognition of letters and ability to also provide sounds. So you guys can go ahead and share what were your results once you implemented your solution. Alrighty, y'all. That is all for today.
We missed that sharing opportunity. So if anyone wants to share their full panel. Wow. Maybe Flavia will talk about it because I just don't want to cut into her time, which we are now encroaching upon. Rossi goes, wow, that's really, oh no, that's your backboard. Sorry. I thought that was like, whoa, what was all that? That was great. All right, so let me just wrap up with Ruth.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, wait. No, we have our little witch. Sorry, no, we can't miss that. We got to see hers. Oh, her resolution is a heart, and her solution is, I see smiley faces. Did she draw this herself? She is such a good artist. How
Okay.
old
Did you
is
draw
she?
yourself, Gia?
No, mommy,
No, you drew these pictures yourself, right?
and you do the heart.
I drew the heart.
Oh, okay, well, wow. I think the other parts were harder than the heart. How old are you, Gia? Are you like 5?
How old are you, Gia? How many is that?
5,
No. How many?
4.
4.
You're only 4 and you draw so beautifully.
Say thank you.
Future illustrator artist right here, I think.
Oh, can we see Flavia's again? I wanted to see it again.
It was so cool.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
Wow.
amazing.
And not so different from yours.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just finish with Ruth.
In our activity, it was such a great book to work with, and I think, like I said, that books are not only for children, but for adults. I know that this is one that I can go ahead and look back on. The illustration is really beautiful as well as the storyline. So go ahead and take this opportunity to ask the author some questions, because I know that she is truly great based on what she has read already. So enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.
So I'll stop sharing and want to say thank you to Ruth. I'm sorry she can't be here, but it was so nice of her to make that wonderful video. And now, Ellie, do you have the control over it? Do you want to make Flavia the main person? Like, how can you do that? Oh, maybe I can do it. Let me pin Flavia. Perfect. Now you're front and center. So, oh, hello. You colored in your heart. It looks so pretty. Looks like you got all the coloring just the way you wanted. So you don't need to be mad. So yeah, we're so delighted to have Flavia Zidrago, and maybe feel free to either ask questions or type them into the chat box. I know we have a lot of things to ask, but maybe she'll get started by telling us what made her decide to become an illustrator author, what inspired her to do Gustavo and Leila. Why don't we start with that?
Oh, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. It's the midnight for me, so it's a bit witchy at the moment because I'm living in the UK. So answering your questions, well, I don't know, when I decided to become an illustrator, I didn't know that I wanted to be an illustrator. I knew that I liked drawing a lot. I knew that I liked stories, but I didn't know there was such a thing as illustrators. I learned that years and years after I studied uni, and then I just got very inspired by looking at illustrated picture books, and I wanted to do that. So I started looking for schools where I could learn how to become an illustrator, and then I started becoming friends with other illustrators, going to book fairs where you can find lots and lots of fascinating things. And then after many, many years, I became an illustrator. And well, the ideas for my books usually come from my experience. So for Gustavo, when I was a little girl, I used to be very, very shy. And Gustavo plays the violin so that he can connect with others. But the way in which I like to connect with others is through my drawings. So we're similar like that. And then when I did Leila, I got the idea because I was baking with my family, and we're a family of perfectionists, and we wanted to make this cake. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called unicorn cake, and it's got different layers of colors, and then you cover it, and then you make a rainbow, and then you shaped it like a unicorn. So we decided we wanted to make that, but we were sure we were going to fail. So from the beginning, we just decided that we were going to enjoy the process, and I started taking pictures of that. and everyone on Instagram was commenting, and they really, really wanted to see how it turned out. It turned out well. But then my agent called me and she told me, why don't you make a book about baking? And I thought, no, don't know. I wasn't really excited about the idea of making a book about baking. But then I thought, wait a minute, there's a little witch in Gustavo. And you know, witches, like, they live in gingerbread houses, and they bake magical gingerbread men who dance. So there's a magical gingerbread man throughout the book, so you can spot him. He's on different pages. So I thought, oh, okay. I just became very excited about the idea of a witch who wanted to bake the perfect cake, but she was not very good at it, unlike the rest of her family. And then it turns out that in real life, I'm not very good at baking, but everyone in my family is. Well, I've tried it by myself, but I'm just really, really bad. I can only bake when I'm with my family. So it just kind of like, it happened to me. I discovered that baking is not one of my talents. So yeah, that's where the inspiration for the books came from.
That's fantastic. So Gia has a question. She says, I love the pictures. How does she, Flavia, know how to draw all the pictures for the story? I.e., how do you come up with the ideas, inspiration?
Well, the ideas come from things that I see every day, or things or experiences that I had. Like, as I were just telling you, that I came with the idea after I was baking a cake with my sister, and I have some nieces and they're all very good at baking. And then it all came together because I thought that it was a good excuse for drawing witches. I really like monsters. I like ghouls. And I think that monsters can tell us things about ourselves as humans, and so they can also be the good guys. You know, monsters are there because they somehow reflect bits about us. And witches, for many, many years, everyone thought that witches were evil, but that's basically because they didn't understand them. Witches are just strong, powerful women who are doing their own stuff, and they're very happy. And they were just being misunderstood for years and years and years. So this is why I really, really wanted to make a book about women and women coming together as well.
That's wonderful. Rosika has a question. Hey, Flavia, so good to see you. Can you share a little about how you get your storyline and a process of dummy making, and also your favorite illustrators?
Give me a second and I'll show you my sketchbooks, because I just got them there, and I can show you some of the tiny little sketches that I've made.
And Danielle says, Mia, if my cake turns out well, I will share it on social. So that's kind of like Flavia with her unicorn cake. So we will all look for Danielle's apple cider donut cake, and we'll enjoy how it, no matter how it turns out, but I'm sure it will be amazing.
So this is how the story starts. It's not really a story in the beginning. I just knew I wanted to make a book about a witch who wanted to bake. And it's more a discovery for me. Sometimes I don't really know exactly what's going to happen in the story. So what I do is I sit down and I make lots and lots and lots of drawings. I think about, I don't know, different cakes that Leila was baking, different things that she was doing. I think I even drew her school and her classmates and things like that. But then we decided to keep it just about her and her family. And so the more I draw, the more I start discovering things about her. And once I have lots and lots of drawings, what I do is I organize them on the computer. And then I start, the last thing I do is actually writing down the text. I organize the drawings and then I write the text for my drawings. So that's how I do it.
How long does it take you to like fill like 2 pages of your sketchbook?
Maybe 2 pages is a whole week of work.
Yeah, because your drawings are so perfectly rendered and neat and tidy. You know, they don't look like scribbles.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think they look messy, but I don't know. I enjoy it. This is my favorite part of the process because all I do is sit down and draw, and at that moment I really don't have to worry about the word, the pages that I need to fill in. Are they too many? Are they too few? I don't need to worry about the pacing or the flow of the story. It's just sitting down and drawing, and it can be really fun.
So when you take your drawings and you put it on the computer, you scan it, I imagine.
Yeah,
you break up each. How do you break it in little chunks? Is each little drawing its own little piece, or how do you break it up?
Yeah, sometimes, for instance, I select one of the scenes only.
Yeah.
So I only choose one of the scenes. Like most of them don't usually make it to the final cut. We can see here, Leila is summoning a spirit and she's drawing perfect geometrical shape. And I think we have her turning someone in a frog. Let me find that one. I thought that was funny. I thought that she was turning, like, one of the things that she does very well as well is turning princess into frogs.
Yeah.
But that there was, in the end, there was no space for that in the final cut. So
that's a sequel, Flavia. That's your sequel. Next book.
Maybe, yes. Well, I already have the next book coming. I'm prepared. I'm working on it right now.
Maybe the book after that.
So here's Leila turning a guy into a frog. And this is her in her school. They're learning how to make potions, and she's very good, and everyone is not as good as her. And yeah, this is Leila giving an apple to a princess.
So Rosika said, wow, thanks, Flavia. You answered everything so well. Smiley face. Danielle said, fantastic process. Rosika said, 1,000 wonderful sketches. Congrats, Flavia. And Leanna said her daughter, Mila, who is the young girl right there in the blue, she would like to know if your books will be made into a movie.
I don't know at the moment. Let's hope. I mean, let's hope they turn into a film, but it's something that might take a few years to happen. Like if the books sell really well, I guess people will get interested and maybe someone will want to make a movie, but it's not up to me. It's more like up to the people. I wish.
Maybe Mila will grow up to be like a film producer or a director, and she can make the movie.
Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, it could be animated, or it could be human figures. Like, it could be anything, right? Or maybe Mila
stop motion. That would be really,
that'd be
really
cool.
Nice.
I love your style of drawing. Like, it's so cute. I could see, like, the just cute little, I always see these little, like, the style you do it, it's really cute. So I'm like, I want to learn how to make it look so simple, right? Yeah. But I know it looks hard. For me, like, it looks so simple, but it's hard to make. So I'm like,
yeah, because you have a lot of expression. You have like developed eyes, and teeth are so hard to draw, I think.
Yeah, Gustavo has a very simple shape. If you compared him with Leila, he's very simple. He's just a sheet and eyes and the silly little arms.
Yeah. So very cute. I love the illustration. And I love like you sharing your process of like pictures first and then words.
Yeah,
So
it's
sometimes
like,
we
it's funny
overthink.
because when I make my pictures, when I make my picture books, people get impressed, like, oh, you also made the illustrations. And it's like, yeah, I wrote it. I also made the illustrations, but it's funny for me because the first thing I do is making the illustrations and then I write the text. But it's funny. I enjoy it. I think I have some sketches for Gustavo in here.
Myla says she will be a movie maker. So we're all set.
Excellent.
Layla
You
will
can
definitely
make-
become a movie coming out, whenever she's ready.
You can make Leila into a film. I would love that. That would be
We will
great.
debut it right here on Walking in Other People's Shoes platform. Yeah, we will help you launch it.
It'd be super cute. I'm very
You'll be invited.
yeah, I love it.
We're running out of
Oh,
time, but
title,
would
yeah.
you quickly say this whole title?
Oh, yeah, the
From
title
one to the other
thing,
was what was that?
it's nothing really exciting. It was more like we had everything ready, and then my partner, he Googled witchy bake-off, and it turns out that there's a book that already has a title. So
Witchy Cake Off? Really? Witchy Cake Off.
yeah, the same title, and
That's
it's
crazy.
self-published, and she self-published that book just a couple months before we published Leila. So we just decided to change the title. Initially, I wanted to call it Leila the Perfect Witch anyway, because I thought that it's a story about learning, about learning how not to be perfect, just enjoying things and enjoying failure and learning from failure. And I wanted to call it Leila the Perfect Witch, but there was just back and forth. We thought that Witchy Cake Off could also work, but it turned out that someone else had the title, so we had to go back to calling it Leila the Perfect Witch. And it's good because Leila is perfect and Gustavo is shy, so there's something like a quality that describes the characters, and it's going to be a collection, so it makes sense that the titles are similar.
And was that the title? Is that something you decide with your editor or the publisher? They have a separate meeting, or is that something you initiate yourself to say, like, I think it should be this, I think we need to change it?
It's always a conversation. It's usually with my publishers, it's a teamwork, and it's not, they don't impose things on me unless they really, really think I need to change something. There's usually a conversation. So we had I sent them a list with different titles, and then we ended up with Leila the Perfect Witch. There were others, I can't remember exactly which ones, but yeah, there were many.
Fantastic. I think Ellie is going to, we're right upon 8 o'clock, so I don't want to,
Yes.
run too late. So I know Ellie is going to choose a winner, and while she chooses one, I just want to introduce the book for next month. Next month, November, we're celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day and Indigenous people, and we have this beautiful book, Powwow Day by Tracy Sorrell, who was here a year ago. She was so booked up for the month of November that she got her illustrator, Madeline Goodnight. She'll be our special guest. Madeline is also Native American, and this is a pretty new book that's just coming out. And I'll share a couple other Native American picture books that are more specific to Thanksgiving. But so I'm looking forward to that. And I think, my giveaway I have for that already for the Indigenous, I have some food products that I bought from Native American tribes. I think I have, what do I have? I have it here somewhere in my room. I think it's 2 kinds of jam, like choke cherry and forget the other one. Oh, no, it's choke cherry, and it's 2 kinds of maple syrup that they made. One of them is in a beautiful maple leaf glass container. And so I hope you guys come back next month. Does anyone have any last minute questions for Flavia before we leave?
Yeah. Anything.
Could
Gia?
I get, it's Barbara. Could I get a quick summary? My machine didn't work.
Oh, this is
Aw.
Barbara, my neighbor. Oh, so Leila the Perfect Witch, she's a perfectionist and she's good at everything. But when she tries to bake, because her family is they're really good bakers for a competition, she struggles. But her sisters help her, give her a growth mindset. And then it ends up being all about process, enjoying the journey, appreciating support. And it's Hispanic Heritage Month, it's Halloween, it's growth mindset, it's mindfulness, all kinds of good things.
Mm-hmm.
Final comments. Danielle said Tracy is so talented. Thank you for Powwow Day for next month. Rustica said, thanks everyone. Today's session is so amazing. Oh, thank you. So nice. I enjoyed the time. Have a good one, everyone, and see you next month. Thank you. That's so kind.
Oh, so good. Thank you. Well, I just wanted to announce the winner. We have dress. I think the best dress should win.
I think the
I
only
think the-
person in costume should win.
Oh, Gia.
Yes.
You
Gia.
should be a witch. Yes, we have
You're
a
the
witchy winner. She's also a
winner.
good witch, just like Leila.
You're
She's
the
also a perfectionist, just like Leila. She's a fantastic artist, just like Flavia. I hope she's inspired by a work in process and a final copy. And I hope don't eat all the candy at once, okay, girl?
I think, wait, so she won a copy of the book?
I'm going to send you both copies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, both copies and all the candy, but you have to promise me don't eat it all at once. 'cause
Oh,
you're
and the
gonna get
candy, the popcorn chocolate.
popcorn, all of it.
Oh
all
my
the candy my
gosh.
kids like. You can tell me
Awesome.
like
Good thing you
whole
got dressed
pile.
up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was our first time doing this and I love it and we're definitely gonna join again.
Yay. So Ellie will
Okay.
email you and then just email your address and then I will stick it in a box and I'll mail it to you on Saturday.
Awesome.
And you're in New York?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. So yeah, so you should get it. I'm in Boston, so hopefully the mail's quick. Plenty of time before Halloween. That's my goal. Plenty of time before Halloween.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. I just
Thank
want to
you.
say thank you so much for attending tonight, and we wish you a happy Halloween. And just thank you for supporting our little book club. And this is like our 1.5 years now. So we've been doing this monthly and we're just so excited to meet the authors in person because I don't think you get to have this like intention with someone like our authors. So
Like an
really
intimate
appreciate
setting,
it.
very
Yeah.
casual, fun.
Oh,
And thank you for Flavia for
guys.
staying up so late. I hope you
No
get
problem.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was so fun. I love the activity. I didn't get to tell you, but it was like this year I was trying to just grow vegetables and plants and I started knowing nothing and then my partner was helping me and we learned a lot. I studied a lot and we ended up having pumpkins and tomatoes and carrots and potatoes and lots of things. So it ended up being quite nice.
Would it be
What do you
possible if we gave you Gia's address and I paid for the postage? Would you mail that to Gia as
This
like,
one?
yeah, the thing that you guys did together? Because she did one as well. And that would
Yes,
be a
yes.
real memento of like the illustrator I met and she saw my artwork and that was her artwork. Because I know Gia was very interested in what you drew. Gia, would you
Yeah.
like that? Gia? I'm
Wait,
sure she
wait, wait.
will.
Would you like the photo that the author drew?
No, the actual.
I
She'll send
mean,
you the
the,
original. Would that help you feel like you know what it
That's
illustrates?
amazing. I would like it.
Okay,
We can
great.
send
So
it.
maybe
Yes.
Ellie will send Gia's address to both of us.
She's,
Yeah.
she's focusing on her drawing. That's it. She's like,
Excellent.
She's a perfectionist, man. She doesn't want that crayon to
say
go in
thank
the
you.
last
Say
spot?
thank you.
Thank you, but I'm sorry to forget.
You got it, girl. Top of pop.
Thank
Gia,
you.
good job. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh. You guys, 1, 2,
Thank you
3.
all for coming. It was
Bye.
so much fun.
Thank you for
Bye.
inviting me.
Fun, guys.
Have a happy
Have a good
Halloween.
night. Take care. Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Happy
care.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Leila.
Yeah, no more. Stop yelling. Thank you.
Gia be any cuter? I don't think so. I don't think there's a cuter child on the planet.
I know.
There's not a cuter witch for sure. I don't know any witch that could ever be cuter than you, Gia.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care. So good. Thank you. My gosh, this has been great. I hope you can get some sleep, girl. It's so late. for you.
Yeah,
It's
don't
1 in the
worry.
morning for you.
Usually, I'm a late. I'm a late owl.
Oh yeah.
You and Barbara. Barbara is also.
You're
Yes.
in London?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Are you in London
Mm.
or are you?
No. Right round out Mia's backyard.
Oh,
Yeah,
no. The author is in London. by
Yeah,
the way.
Flavia's
Oh.
in London. Yeah, that's why it's so
Oh.
late for her.
It's really late.
6
Yeah.
hours ahead?
A little bit, but it was really nice to see you. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh,
We
it was
had so
so
much
fun.
was
Delighted.
I was
so nice.
excited to see the little witch. I was
And
like,
honestly,
so
I couldn't find the gingerbread on
cute.
every page, so I'm gonna like really scour it before I send the books off.
I
But
know.
I love that Easter egg. I love searching for things.
Yeah, the lesson
Anyway,
learned was really good.
we are so honored and delighted to have you. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, and maybe we'll see you another year.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be something new for next year.
Yeah,
Canowit
well,
Press is like around the corner from me, and it's like they're like one of my favorite publishing companies. I love them so much. So hopefully we'll see. I don't know, Leila too. I don't know. I don't know what's in store, but
you'll see what's in store.
Yeah.
It's not Leila too. It's something else. but
Oh,
okay. Another
going to
friend
be-
of Gustavo's.
It's going to be a trilogy so far.
I love
Maybe
it.
maybe it will be more. We hope.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see. Well, thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Night.
See you, and send